LoungeMediaPro.com.
Brand new Black Butterfly. It's called Rockabye. Julio G, 93.5 KDAY, of course, hip hop today and back in the day. Russell Simmons in the house with us tonight. We got so much Def Jam stuff, I don't even know what to play next, man. Hey, Russell, I want to ask you about your clothing company, man. I see your clothes everywhere, man. I remember when it first started years ago, and you've
been around for a minute. That's 13 years. Man.
Oh yeah, you know. I know. I've been around, but I remember seeing just the beginning of it, and I remember not thinking that you were crazy or nothing. Just like, oh wow, that's what a move. You know what I mean? For Russell Simmons going to clothing thing, and I remember, and now it's like you yourself, Rockaware, Sean John. I mean, everybody came after that.
I enjoy. Listen to me, man. The idea that we inspire ourselves. Mm-hmm. The thing that really inspired me. I mean, on top of that, we did that years ago, and people would laugh and say, "I wear Ralph and Tommy. I'm not wearing you." You know what I mean? And so we had to learn to buy our own clothes and be inspired by our own images. And that happened over a period of 6 years of losing money. The last 7 years have been a joyride. You understand?
Wow.
It's been very good. But
Russell, you lost money in the beginning doing that?
6 years.
Really?
See, that's the thing. That's a lesson that I learned about resilience. You know, there's a great yogi who says the imagination is God. And he points, his name is Yogananda, and he's gone now. He has something out here called Self-Realization Center. He's been gone for about 20, 30 years. But he said the imagination is God. He's a Christian yogi, and he points to the fact that God created the earth, and he didn't form it until 2-3 chapters later. You know, everything starts in the imagination first. But you know, the great ones, those who are inspired, fully realize they imagine something that happens right away because they already know there's so much faith, hard work, and dedication, and the imagination amounts to whatever it is you dreamed up. You could never not make it. You know what I mean? You never can be a failure until you quit or until you lose faith. So I was lucky enough to learn over the 6 years and to stick with it because there was many reasons they went bankrupt. The licensee who had the thing went bankrupt. I had to buy it out of bankruptcy. I had to borrow money. I had not sold Def Jam. It was a long struggle. It really had to do with faith and hard work, you know. I don't mean hard. I mean, I enjoyed doing it all, but it was always struggle.
Wow.
And that was a good experience for me, you know, having that experience of just sticking with something and one day start popping off. It was actually a company that started after me, got hot before me. They had smarter partners, did an excellent job, was FUBU. And that thing got hot, and then when they got hot, you know, we started to explode, and that was really kind of opened the door, so I had to give them brothers credit.
Wow.
But the idea, you got to stay on your game, stay on your grind. Jay-Z's record, I signed for the Nutty Professor soundtrack, Ain't No Nigga, with Jay and Foxy Brown. And Jay, everybody said, wow, he's the best rapper. He ain't been on his grind for so long. People were like, oh yeah, he's all right. And then one day everybody discovered him. But he had been discovered. He discovered himself.
Wow.
You know, 12 years, 15 years before that. He stayed on his grind until people recognized what he saw. You know, if you see yourself in a certain position, you can't not get there if you stay focused. So I like to say that to people. That's a good story.
Wow. Russell, let me ask you about just business in general.
I started to say one thing. I said, the Rev told me that he was ordained in sneaker business. He did $120 million in sneakers last year and $100 million in sneakers this year. $120 million last year. And what's great about that is that, see, because we don't know Phil Nike. And we would never buy our own sneakers. So that really was, when I gave him half the company, I was laughing. I was like, whatever, you know, you want to, he said, Jay had passed. He said, I'm going to go to work in the sneaker business full time. Well, Jay hadn't passed when he started developing. But when he came every day in the office was after he retired the group. But he went every day and he got his grind. And it was like, no one would, I even had people who put out sneakers now, certain people, rappers, who would laugh at me. That's corny, man. I wear Nike. You can't make no sneakers. That's corny. That's not your job. The same type of, why is that my job? Is Phil Nike better than me? Does he know the hood better than me? Is he, you know, I don't know Phil. Phil don't know us. He ain't registered no voters.
Yeah, no
you know
doubt.
What I mean?
That's real. So,
I mean, the point is that, you know, we just believing in something, you know, can really make it happen.
No doubt about it.
The story is inspiring that we now buy our own sneakers. Now 50 and Jay and others sell sneakers. And I think that's a good thing because, you know, the more we can trust ourselves, you know, to buy our own stuff, the better off we are. We definitely know more. You know, we definitely the best brand building community in the world. We decide something's hot, it's hot.
It's hot, no doubt about it.
Pepsi's hot, it's hot.
No doubt. Russell, can I ask you about, I'm going to ask you about the business, man, again, man. I'm curious to know, you know, getting into corporate America. like a lot of rap stars, not even just rap stars, but just people in the hip hop industry sometimes get stuck and they don't. Sometimes you're too hood, you know what I mean, and you can't. Can you give some advice, or what is the whole mindset to be able to say, let me be able to have my New York hat and keep it, you always been Russell, man. You don't have to break nothing down. You've always just
I made some statements in the past that have affected my businesses based on principles. Mm-hmm. I said some things about KFC that killed my distribution at Pepsi.
Oh.
I'm still negotiating with KFC because we may have to, if they don't change the way that they feed us the toxins and the way that they abuse the chickens. But that's a different discussion. But we do eat a lot of antibiotics because of them. And they can change the world if they would make some changes. So that's a negotiation. But that's certainly offended a lot of partners of theirs and of my potential partners. I said some things the other day. I would want the rush card to be distributed because it's such a empowering thing through McDonald's. And then I said that I wouldn't make their uniforms. I said it to Canada, and it came on the news here because I was a vegan, my own personal conviction. But I like that they make veggie burgers. I apologize. But I don't. I am not I won't eat any animal myself, but if they make veggie burgers and stuff, that's good. But I made these statements, and I see how they cost money. So I know that artists sometimes, because of their conviction to be a certain way, make statements that you have to recognize that your deal for distribution for your soda is off the table now. You recognize that your relationship, your deal to sell rush cards to the community or develop, a way of the rush card is a vehicle for empowerment. But to use McDonald's as a vehicle to sell rush cards is now, not a good deal no more. Well, McDonald's probably doesn't like me as much. So you gotta watch what you say, and you gotta measure whether or not the greater good is served when you're making these statements. Like if you go up in the rec company and you smack somebody with a pistol, you're gonna have a problem. We all are responsible for our actions.
No doubt.
The world will give you what you give it, and you gotta be careful how you serve out whatever's. Take your time and think about what you do, in other words.
No doubt. Check it out. Russell Simmons in the house, everybody. Can we do another Def Jam?
Yeah.
Is that cool?
Yeah. I was at the mall, sipping on a milkshake, playing the wall, taking a break.
LoungeMediaPro.com